From an early age, he understood football wasn't just talent. It was courage, it was pain, it was blood. At 15 years old, he was already playing professionally. And every challenge was a warning. I didn't come here to play around. In January 2006, the unknown Serbian arrives at Old Trafford. No one knew what to expect, but Sir Alex Ferguson knew exactly what he was doing. In the first season, the impact was immediate. Hard, cold, ruthless. While strikers looked for space, Vidic took the ground away. Nemanja. Vidic was born on the 21st of October 1981 in Užice, a small town in what was then Yugoslavia, today Serbia. From an early age, Vidic showed he was not an ordinary player. While others dreamed of being number 10s, he was fascinated by the sound of studs, the precise tackles and physical duels. It was as if he was born to defend. He started his professional career at Red Star Belgrade, where he stood out while still young. At just 20 years old, he was already wearing the captain's armband. And it wasn't by chance. Vidic had a natural leadership, a strength that commanded respect, and a chilling composure for such a young player. Soon, his wall caught international attention. In 2004, he transferred to Spartak Moscow in Russia, and it was there, amid battles in the cold of Eastern Europe, that he was forged as a warrior. But the real war was yet to come, and it was called the Premier League. It was in January 2006 that Manchester United announced the arrival of the Serbian. Sir Alex Ferguson, the legendary Red Devils manager, knew exactly what he was doing. The Scotsman needed a defender to reinforce the backline alongside Rio Ferdinand, and saw in Vidic the perfect partner. The beginning, however, was not easy. Vidic arrived mid-season, with English football on fire. It was a different style, much faster, much more physical. But just a few games were enough for the monster to awaken, and when he awakened, the rest of the league trembled. With his imposing figure, clean and at the same time destroying tackles, precise headers, and unmatched grit, Vidic quickly became one of the most feared players in England. And with him, Manchester United became a defensive wall once again. The partnership with Ferdinand was simply legendary. While Rio brought elegance, Vidic was raw fire. The contrast was perfect. One was the brain, the other pure strength. Together they perhaps formed the best centre-back duo in Premier League history. Between 2007 and 2011, Manchester United dominated English football with 4 Premier League titles, 3 League Cups, 1 UEFA Champions League, and 1 Club World Cup. But none of that would have been possible without the Serbian monster. And let's be honest, few defenders in history managed to be so brutal and at the same time so efficient. He was an impenetrable wall. Vidic was elected for 2 consecutive years as United's best player by the fans, a rare achievement for a defender. In 2009, he won the Premier League's Player of the Season award, beating attackers like Gerrard, Lampard, and Rooney. That's right, a defender surpassing midfield and attacking stars. That's for the few. But it's not just for the titles or the individual awards that Vidic became a legend. It's for the fear he caused. It's for matches like those against Arsenal, when he stopped Henry and Van Persie with an enviable composure, or those battles against Chelsea, where he threw himself at Drogba as if he had no bones in his body. He was an indestructible warrior. And of course, how can we forget the biggest rivalry he had on the field, Fernando Torres? Ah, my friends, the clash between Vidic and Torres is almost a separate chapter in Premier League history. In several matches between United and Liverpool, the Spanish striker managed to do what few others did, destabilize the Serbian monster. Torres was fast, skillful, and had a style that bothered Vidic a lot. There were at least 3 red cards Vidic received in derbies against Liverpool, and in most of them, Torres was directly involved. That duel became a show on its own, as if it were a personal war between the two. But even with those intense battles, no one can deny Vidic was one of the most respected players in the league. Even opponents knew facing him was like stepping onto a battlefield. And look, if you think he only tackled, you're very mistaken. Vidic also scored goals. He rose like a tank during set pieces. He scored over 20 goals wearing the Manchester United jersey, many of them decisive. In 2011, he was named the club's captain, inheriting the armband from legends like Roy Keane and Gary Neville. And as captain, he led the team to another Premier League title in 2013, the last title of the Ferguson era. That title, by the way, was the perfect ending for a victorious generation. And Vidic, as always, was there, leading, fighting, winning. After Sir Alex's departure, Manchester United entered a period of transition, and Vidic also decided to seek new challenges. In 2014, he transferred to Inter Milan in Italy. There he played for one more season, but injuries began to take their toll. In 2016, he officially announced his retirement from football. But the truth is that he never left our memories. Nemanja Vidic was much more than a defender. He was the symbol of an ERA, the warrior of a generation, the monster who made the Premier League his domain. And if you ask any United fan, you'll hear the same thing. With Vidic, I felt safe. I knew that if the ball got past everyone, he would be there to fix it. That's why today, this video is a tribute to a player who redefined what it means to be a defender, who showed the world that a centre-back can also be an idol, that you don't have to score in every game to be the hero. Nemanja Vidic, the monster who haunted the Premier League.